First of all, allow me to salute the bravery.
Yeah.
با اجازه بدین اول یه دست بزنیم برای خانم مطمئن کار.
I think this is not. Is it? You hear me? Yes. Thank you. Yeah, okay. Yeah. First of all, allow me to salute the bravery of all those who fight the evil of the Islamic Republic and recognize all those who lost their lives by the hands of this evil regime. زن زندگی آزادی مرد میهن آبادی I'm honored to join you all this evening, and I would like to extend my gratitude to the Cyrus the Great Institute for hosting me and providing me with this opportunity to share some thoughts. There is no question today that the Islamic Republic is a destabilizing force that threatens global security, promotes terrorism, and is a gross violator of human rights. In a stunning retreat, we see Iran, once a great country, whose leaders and intellectuals propelled forward the march of civilization, reduced to an isolated, theocratic, and backward dictatorship that lashes out against the developed world in its pursuit of its Islamist agenda. The Islamic Republic's destabilizing role in the Middle East is nothing new. For decades, Tehran has taken a hostile approach towards American influence in the region, with a particular fanatical hatred towards Israel. For generations, the Islamic Republic has threatened Israel directly or indirectly with its support for terrorism. It has supported Hezbollah, a terrorist group that wreaks havoc not only on Israel, but also on Lebanon, the country that it operates within. Hezbollah militants who regularly receive weapons, training, and financial support from the Islamic Republic are one of many regime-backed proxies that have destabilized the Middle East and halted progress towards peace. However, today, the Islamic Republic is expanding its destructive acts to a new continent altogether, South America. The evolving multipolar world order has turned countries that once, out of the fear of the United States, avoided engaging with the Islamic Republic into allies of the regime today. Most notably, we see the Islamic Republic's influence exploding in Venezuela. Although a failed state by all accounts, Venezuela and the Islamic Republic have entered a corrupt alliance that gives Tehran a foothold in the Americas through financial ventures, ideological partnerships, and particularly at universities and strategic sanction-avoiding collaborations. Furthermore, north, the Islamic Republic and the anti-Western nation of Nicaragua have a budding relationship that endangers regional stability. Recent comments from Nicaragua's president during an Iranian delegation's visit showed how far the regime's influence has spread, with the Nicaraguan president castigating the killing of Qasem Soleimani and praising the two countries' stance against the United States. Closer to home, the Islamic Republic has a long-standing alliance with the Cuban dictatorship. Cuba, like the Islamic Republic, routinely oppresses and kills its own citizens to prevent the establishment of a liberal democracy. Tehran's support for Cuba's state-run economy and military endangers the stability of the North continent altogether. On a global scale, the rising influence of China and Russia, along with the advancements in Brazil and India, points to an increasingly multipolar world that is ripe for the regime to sabotage. The need to establish a secular and democratic Iran is more pressing than ever, as the Ayatollah's quest for the global Islamic domination grows deadlier, while the American-led world order faces its greatest challenge in a century. The situation in Iran continues to worsen as the regime dedicates more of its resources in pushing the world towards chaos and escalates its cruelty against its own citizens. In the aftermath of the senseless killing of Mahsa Amini, the world had witnessed thousands of protests enveloping Iran as Iranians demand democracy, rights for women, and an end to the Islamic rule. But how did the regime respond to millions of protesters peacefully protesting? In some cases with gunfire, and in others with public hangings of dissidents. More than 600 Iranians have died protesting the government since Amini's murder. A government that is confident in its legitimacy, assured of its mandate, does not need to butcher its own citizens. Only those clinging to power at all cost resort to such evil. But what can we do from abroad? Those of us living outside Iran must support the fellow Iranians inside the country by ensuring that foreign pressure continues and remains strong. We must make it clear to those in power in the countries where we live that we Iranians abroad, we do not want to see any normalizations with this murderous regime, that we support the use of sanctions and all necessary tools, such as listing IRGC as a terrorist entity that they are, to bring down the criminal dictators occupying our homeland. This is the approach that brought an end to the apartheid regime of South Africa. We must also stand up against the Iranian regime's constant foreign interference, especially when it targets Iranian communities abroad or seek to influence governments to move toward normalization. In Canada, the Iranian-Canadian community is laser-focused on preventing regime sympathizers and advocates from influencing public opinion and government policies. These Tehran apologists hold no legitimacy and must never be taken seriously, as they do not represent the overwhelming will of the Iranian people who yearn for freedom. Ultimately, as much as we strive from abroad to support Iranians inside the country, the only people who can end this regime's reign of terror are those within Iran itself. Assistance from abroad is vital in ensuring the transition to democracy in Iran, but without Iranians on the ground bringing about change, there is only so much we can do from abroad. This is why we have a profound obligation to do whatever it takes to ensure our fellow Iranians have all the tools necessary to bring about regime change. We cannot let their fight be in vain. We cannot let their inspiring bravery be for nothing. We must do everything we can to show the brave Iranians that the free world stand in complete solidarity with their noble cause. As Iranians abroad, we must present multiple options for a return to democratic rule in Iran, and in my humble opinion, specifically through the reestablishment of the monarchy. through a constitutional monarchy, such as the one in Canada, Belgium, or UK, we can ensure that the people control the future of the country under the guidance of a leader who can protect institutions against fanatical and anti-democratic ideologies. We must take every step necessary to ensure that the Iranian regime never gain legitimacy in foreign nations, as long as it violates the rights of Iranians, as long as it arms terrorists, as long as it continues its quest for nuclear arms, it remains unwelcome. We cannot let Tehran's destabilizing influence spread further. We must remain steadfast in our mission and take heart also in positive developments. The Crown Prince of Iran, His Imperial Highness Reza Pahlavi, remains an inspirational figurehead in the movement for a secular Iran. Recently, when the prince traveled to Israel, the Israeli government recognized him as the crown prince in exile and leader of the opposition. Fortunately, and thanks in part to the work of activists like yourself here tonight, and the fact that the Iranian people inside the country call upon Reza Pahlavi to lead this movement, there is a growing international consensus that Reza Pahlavi can lead this revolution to a secular democracy in Iran. When the conditions are right, I am assured, we will see the change we have desired for decades. With the right combination of foreign pressure and internal determination, I am more optimistic than ever that the Iranian people will once and for all take the reins of their own destiny and dispose of their tormentors. We will see the yoke of tyranny removed from the shoulders of Iranian people who will reclaim their nation and their rightful place in the world. Every fiber in my being, like so many of you here tonight, eagerly awaits the liberation of our homeland. So tonight, I'm honored to be in the presence of such distinguished crowd and inspiring group. And I am humbled to be among those who are relentless in their pursuit of a free and secular Iran. It is a great honor to be part of the movement that I'm certain history will remember as a positive force responsible for bringing change and a better future for Iran. As we never lose hope, together, I am confident that the future we are building is one that will bring long-desired peace for generations to come. Long live Iran, long live His Imperial Highness Reza Pahlavi. Thank you.
سپاسگزار از خانم مطمئن. متشکرم از صحبتاتون. در این میون حلقه دوم پنل ما پیدا شدند. جناب امین صوفیامه، لطفاً تشریف بیارین سر جاتون.